Have you ever been stuck in a loop trying to figure out why your PHP code isn't working as expected? It can be incredibly frustrating, especially when you're sure you've done everything right. If that's you, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into a common issue with the file exists function in PHP. I totally understand your pain. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack when your code just won't cooperate. You're not alone in this. Many developers face similar challenges when working with file paths and existence checks in PHP. Let's take a closer look at the specific issue at hand. One user recently asked, "Why isn't file exists working in my while loop?" They provided a path to their file and mentioned that while the original file is created, the appended versions are not detected. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what could be going wrong here? The issue often lies in how file paths are constructed or how the file exists function is used within loops. We'll break it down step by step to help you understand what's happening. And stick around. I've got a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid this issue in the future. You won't want to miss it. To begin resolving the issue with the file exists function, the user should first ensure that the file path is correct. The path used in the file exists function must match the actual location of the file. Next, the user should check the permissions of the directory and the file. The web server needs to have the appropriate permissions to access the file. Now, let's modify the code to include debugging information. The user can add some echo statements to see if the file path is being constructed correctly. Finally, the user should test the modified code to see if the file exists function now detects the file correctly. This will help confirm if the issue was with the path or permissions. Fun fact, did you know that the first version of PHP was created in 1994? It was originally a set of tools for web development, and look how far we've come since then. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution suggests checking the file path. The user points out that using PHP5 looks for the file inside that directory rather than the expected full path. They recommend checking for PHP5 file name instead. Now, let's see a response from a different user. An alternative solution suggests that the issue lies in the first line of your script. Instead of using pathinfo to get the file name, which includes the extension, you should use pathinfo base name. This will give you just the file name without the extension, preventing the concatenation problem. Now, let's shift our focus to a different response. An alternative solution suggests that the issue lies with the file put contents function. The user recommends specifying a full path instead of just a file name. They advise echoing the variable to confirm it's not a complete path. The user also recommends defining a constant for the save path at the beginning of the file. This ensures consistency by using absolute paths throughout the code. Additionally, they added a check to ensure the recording URL is set to avoid PHP warnings. This makes the code more robust. Let's check out another perspective from a different user. An alternative solution suggests consolidating your logic within the find new name function. This makes your code clearer and more organized. Instead of checking for file existence in multiple places, you can handle it all in one function. Let's move forward and look at another answer. One user points out a common confusion between the URL of a file and its actual file path. They clarify that your web root is located at /www.os/phi, but the file system root is simply /. They suggest a solution to use the $$ constant to construct the file path correctly. Additionally, the user mentions that there are several bad practices in the original code, implying that improvements could be made for better coding standards. Here's the tip I promised. Always double-check your file paths and permissions. This simple habit can save you hours of debugging time in the long run. And there you have it. With these troubleshooting steps, you should be able to resolve the file exists issue in your PHP code. Remember, debugging is part of the process. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button for more tips and don't miss our next video where we tackle more PHP challenges.